Look at the frying pan sitting on your stove right now. The black one, the slick one, the one you use every single morning. Look at the surface. Scratches from your spatula, bubbles where the coating peeled, dark spots where the metal shows through. That pan is releasing thousands of microscopic plastic particles directly into your eggs. A study from Flinders University in Australia counted them under an electron microscope. A single scratch on a nonstick surface can release approximately 9,100 particles. Those particles are made of a chemical class that never leaves the human body. Not in 5 years, not in 20, not when you die and your body returns to the soil. Scientists call them forever chemicals, because forever is exactly how long they last. The Centers for Disease Control tested the blood of average Americans across the country. 97% of every man, woman, and child in this nation has these chemicals in their bloodstream right now, including you, sitting in that chair, reading this on your phone. And the company that invented them knew they were toxic since 1961. They watched factory workers get sick. They watched babies born with deformed faces. They poisoned the drinking water of an entire town in West Virginia for decades. They paid billions of dollars in court settlements over 40 years of litigation, and they kept selling that pan to your grandmother for 65 straight years. This is the story of the most successful chemical cover-up in American corporate history, and the $8 cast iron pan from a thrift store that makes the whole industry obsolete. Welcome to Forbidden Camping. If you're not subscribed yet, hit subscribe and the bell. This is where we open the vaults the industry slammed shut. In 1938, a chemist named Roy Plunkett was working in a DuPont laboratory. He was trying to make a refrigerant. He failed. Inside one of his pressurized canisters, he found a strange white powder. Slick, heat-resistant, nothing stuck to it. He had accidentally invented polytetrafluoroethylene, and the world would learn to call it Teflon. The American military took it first. They used it in the Manhattan Project to build the atomic bomb, the coating-sealed valves that handled uranium hexafluoride without corroding. After the war ended, DuPont needed a civilian market for the miracle chemical. They found it in your kitchen. By 1961, frying pans coated in Teflon were flying off the shelves. Housewives loved them. Eggs slid off without butter. Cleanup took seconds. That same year, inside a DuPont research facility, scientists were running tests on rats. The processing chemical used to bond Teflon to metal had a name: perfluorooctanoic acid, known internally as C8. The rats fed the chemical developed enlarged livers, swollen organs, and altered blood chemistry. The internal report landed on executive desks at DuPont headquarters in Wilmington, Delaware. The decision was made in a single meeting. They did not stop production. They doubled it. By 1970, DuPont knew the chemical was building up in workers' blood, not breaking down, not flushing out, accumulating year after year, decade after decade. A factory worker who poured Teflon powder in 1965 still carried the chemical in his veins in 1990, 25 years later. In 1981, something worse surfaced inside the Parkersburg plant. 2 of 7 children born to women working with the chemical had visible birth defects, facial deformities. One had only a single nostril, one had a serrated, misshapen eyelid. DuPont quietly transferred the women to other departments inside the same plant. They did not warn the public. They did not warn the doctors. They did not even warn the other women still on the line. In 1984, internal monitoring detected the chemical in the tap water of Lubeck, West Virginia, sitting downstream from the DuPont landfill. Mothers were brewing baby formula with contaminated water. Old men were drinking it with their morning coffee. Children were filling glasses straight from the kitchen tap. DuPont knew. DuPont said nothing. For another 15 years, the people of that valley drank poisoned water without knowing. Hold on. Before I tell you what happens next, this is just the first vault. I gathered everything the cookware industry buried in one single place. All of it inside the complete Forbidden Camping vault. Cast iron restoration secrets that turn $8 thrift store junk into 100-year tools. Seasoning techniques the old-timers used before nonstick was ever invented. Wood stove cooking methods that outperform any modern range. Outdoor cooking systems that need 0 electricity and 0 chemicals. Food preservation tricks that keep meat safe without a refrigerator. Knife sharpening rituals that make a $5 blade outcut a $100 one. And much more. Over 10 guides in one place. No fluff. Straight to the point. The link is pinned at the very top of the description. Now stay with me, because what DuPont did next is worse than the cover-up. In 1998, a cattle farmer named Wilbur Tennant walked into a small law office in Cincinnati. His cows were dying by the hundreds. Twisted spines, black teeth, tumors the size of basketballs hanging from their bellies. The lawyer he sat across from was named Robert Bilott. Bilott was a corporate defense attorney who had spent his entire career defending chemical companies. He took the case anyway. He drove out to West Virginia. He saw the cattle. He smelled the creek. And what he uncovered would consume the next 20 years of his life. DuPont had been dumping thousands of tons of chemical sludge into unlined landfills near the farm for decades. Rainwater carried the toxin into the creek. The cattle drank from the creek. The cattle died. The chemical kept flowing into wells, into homes, into bloodstreams. Bilott sued. DuPont fought back with a wall of lawyers. The case dragged on for years. In 2004, the Environmental Protection Agency hit DuPont with a $16 million fine. At the time, it was the largest administrative penalty in the history of the agency, and the official crime was hiding health data on the chemical for over 20 straight years. That fine was pocket change. DuPont made billions of dollars on Teflon every single year, but Bilott was not finished. He pushed for something unprecedented. A health study of every single person inside the contamination zone, 69,000 people in total. The largest community health study ever conducted in human history, with independent scientists, independent funding, and independent conclusions. The panel worked for 7 straight years. They tested blood samples, they tracked diseases, they followed lives across 2 decades. In 2012, they delivered their final verdict to the world. The chemical was probably linked to 6 diseases: kidney cancer, testicular cancer, thyroid disease, ulcerative colitis, high cholesterol, pregnancy-induced hypertension. The chemical that made your eggs slide off the pan was tied to cancers in 2 organs of the human body. And the company that made the pan had known the truth for 51 years. 51 years of birthdays, 51 years of Christmas mornings, 51 years of grandmothers cooking breakfast for grandchildren on poisoned cookware. And nobody told them. Not the doctors, not the government, not the company, nobody. But the worst part of this story is not the cover-up. The worst part is what they did next. If you made it this far, you already know more about cookware toxicity than 99% of Americans. Subscribe right now and share this video with the woman in your life who still cooks on Teflon. Every share rips a hole in the wall of silence the chemical industry built around this story. And remember, everything the cookware industry buried is in the complete vault. The link is pinned at the top of the description. Now stay with me, because the science of what nonstick coating does to your kitchen air is the part nobody wants to talk about. Polytetrafluoroethylene begins to break down at temperatures above 500 degrees Fahrenheit. That sounds high. It is not. An empty nonstick pan on a gas burner reaches that temperature in 2.5 minutes. A pan with a thin layer of oil hits it during normal frying. Searing a steak takes you well past it. When the coating breaks down, it releases a cocktail of toxic gases into the air of your kitchen. Among them, perfluoroisobutylene, a chemical so toxic the United States military classified it as a chemical warfare agent 10 times more lethal than phosgene. Veterinarians have a name for what happens when this gas builds up in a closed kitchen. They call it Teflon toxicosis. Pet birds drop dead off their perches. Parakeets, parrots, cockatiels. The respiratory system of a small bird collapses in minutes. The phenomenon has been documented in veterinary literature since the 1980s. Now ask yourself a question. If the gas from your nonstick pan kills a parakeet across the room, what does it do to the lungs of a 75-year-old man standing right over the burner? What does it do to a grandchild sitting at the kitchen table eating cereal 3 feet away? The chemical industry has a name for the human version of this poisoning. They call it polymer fume fever. The symptoms include chills, fever, headache, and respiratory distress that can last for hours. Most doctors never connect it to the cookware. They write it off as a virus and send you home with aspirin. Now look at the global numbers. The nonstick cookware industry generates over $25 billion in annual sales worldwide. The label PFOA-free is plastered across modern packaging like a badge of safety. It is marketing. PFOA was just one chemical in a family of thousands. Manufacturers replaced it with cousins called Gen X, PFBS, and other forever chemicals whose long-term effects are equally unknown. The pan you bought last year that says PFOA-free still contains polytetrafluoroethylene. It still releases microplastic particles when scratched. It still breaks down at high heat. The label was a magic trick. Sleight of hand. The replacement chemicals are just newer poisons with shorter histories of being studied. The Environmental Protection Agency only set legal limits for these chemicals in drinking water in 2024. 63 years after DuPont knew the truth. There is still no federal regulation on these chemicals in cookware. 0. Not a single rule about how much can leach into your food. Now here is what your grandmother knew that the industry made you forget. Before 1945, every American kitchen ran on cast iron. A single skillet lasted 4 generations. There are cast iron pans from the 1870s still in daily use today. Real working tools, over 150 years old, blacker and slicker than anything sold in stores today. Brands like Wagner, Griswold, and Lodge built skillets so durable that families passed them down in their wills alongside the wedding rings. And the surface of a properly seasoned cast iron pan is just as nonstick as Teflon, with 0 forever chemicals leaching into your food. Stop right here. Before I show you exactly how to do this, listen to me carefully. The complete restoration guide, the seasoning oil chart, the brand identification guide for thrift store hunting, and over 10 more vault documents are waiting in the link at the top of the description. Cast iron restoration step by step with photos, wood stove cooking systems, off-grid food preservation methods, knife sharpening rituals, outdoor cooking systems that need zero electricity. Every guide written for people who refuse to keep paying the toxic tax to corporate cookware. Click the link now, get the vault before you forget, then come back and finish watching. Here's exactly what to do this week. Step 1. Throw out the worst nonstick pan in your kitchen, the one with the most scratches. Today. Step 2. Drive to the nearest thrift store, estate sale, or garage sale. Look for cast iron skillets. You want heavy black pans, 10 to 12 inches across. The brands to look for are Lodge, Wagner, Griswold, and Birmingham Stove and Range. Expect to pay $5 to $8. Even rusty pans are perfect. Rust comes off. The iron underneath lasts forever. Step 3. Pick up flaxseed oil or boiled linseed oil from the grocery store. $2. That is all the chemistry you need. Step 4. Restore the pan. Scrub the rust off with steel wool. Wash with hot water and baking soda. Dry it completely on a warm burner. Step 5. Apply a paper-thin coat of oil to every surface, inside and out. Wipe off the excess until the pan looks dry. Step 6. Place it upside down in a 500-degree oven for 1 hour. Let it cool inside the oven overnight. Repeat the oil and bake cycle 3 more times. 4 total layers of seasoning. What you have now is a black, glossy, naturally non-stick surface. Eggs will slide off it like glass. Total cost: $8 for the pan, $2 for oil, $1 for steel wool, $11 total. That pan will outlive you. Your children will cook on it. Your grandchildren will inherit it. Now compare. A non-stick pan costs $25 to $50 and degrades in 2 to 3 years. Over 20 years of cooking, you will buy 7 non-stick pans for $200 to $500 total. Or you spend $11 one time for a tool that lasts a century. $200 in toxic plastic, $11 in iron and oil. The math is not even close. I have to be honest with you about one thing. Cast iron is heavy. A 12-inch skillet weighs around 8 pounds. For older hands or weaker wrists, a smaller 8-inch pan or a lighter carbon steel skillet works just as well. Carbon steel takes the same seasoning treatment as cast iron. Same chemistry, same nonstick result. Half the weight. This knowledge did not die. It was buried. Buried by a company that knew their product was poison in 1961 and kept selling it anyway. Buried by an industry that makes $25 billion a year on cookware that needs to be replaced every 2 years. Buried by doctors who never thought to ask what kind of pan you cook on when you walked in with thyroid disease. But your grandmother knew. Your great-grandmother knew. The pan in the antique store knew. The cast iron skillet sat there waiting on a thrift store shelf for someone to remember. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe and share it with the woman who taught you to cook breakfast. Every share preserves what the chemical industry tried to erase from your kitchen. And one last thing before you go. The vault link is sitting at the top of the description right now. Inside that vault is the complete cast iron restoration guide, the brand identification chart for thrift store hunting, the seasoning oil comparison, and over 10 more documents. The cookware industry does not want sitting on your kitchen counter. This is the only place online where all of this knowledge is collected in one downloadable pack. Not scattered across forums, not buried in old books, all in one place. Click the link now, open the vault, print the guides, hang them on your refrigerator. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside will change how you think about everything in your refrigerator and every plastic container in your cabinets.